Welcome my dear friends, I am your friend Sheikh Bashir. So today we will learn about the solution of linear equations. We have already learned what the linear equation is and the terms that is used in linear equation. Now we will try to learn about the solution of linear equations. Before we learn the solution of linear equations, let me tell you in simple what is the solution of linear equation. Here this is an equation x plus 5 is equal to 10. What the solution of this equation mean? The solution means we have to find the value of this variable here. This is unknown quantity here. So we have to find the value of this unknown quantity. So that is called the solution. For example, if I tell you the expansion, the elaborated form of this equation, that is some number plus 5 is equal to 10. That means there is a number, if you add 5 to that number, the total is 10. So what is the number? Definitely you may say the number is 5 because it is only 5 which is to be added 5, the result is 10. So that is actually the solution. But how do we solve this equation using mathematical formation, mathematical procedure? That is what we are going to learn now. So first what I will do to find the value of variable, that means I have to put variable one side. One side means there are two sides. This is one side of the equation, equality. Equality divides the equation into two sides. This side we call the left hand side. Simply we write in the mathematical form LHS, and this side is called a right hand side, and we abbreviate it as RHS. Now we are going to solve this equation. Solution of equation means we have to find the value of variable. So that simply means if this variable is in LHS side, we have to keep it alone. The other terms must be on the right hand side. So how can we do that? Here first we have to observe what are the other terms which are on the left side. Yeah, that means that is variable side. Here 5 is the term which is with the variable side. So we have to try to remove this 5 from variable side. So how can we remove? It is not simply that you cancel this term. No, you have to do such process. You have to do such a process that this will definitely vanish. For example, what I am doing here, x plus 5 is original what it was. Then I am subtracting 5 equal to 10. It was right hand side and subtracting 5. So this was equality. So what I did, I subtracted 5 both sides. Why did I subtract 5 both sides? Because when I subtract 5 from 5, the result is 0. That means in left hand side there remains only the variable, that is x. So that is why I subtracted 5 on both sides. So now what is the result in next step? Next step, the result is x. Here 5 minus 5, that is 0. 0 means nothing here. So that implies x is equal to 10 minus 5, that is 5. So this is the solution of this equation. And you have already found the solution verbally before the actual solution of this equation. But now this is the mathematical procedure that how we solve this problem. Now let us take another example. That is example 2. Y minus 7 is equal to 2. Here it is once again an equation. In left hand side there is a variable y of which we have to find the value. So what we will do first, we will try to vanish this term. Vanish means we have to remove this term. How can we remove this? How can we vanish this? It is minus 7. If we add 7 on both sides, this will become 0. So what I am doing here, y minus 7 plus 7 is equal to 2 plus 7. So I am adding 7 on both sides. What happens? This minus 7 and plus 7 will vanish and it will become 0. So then it implies y is equal to 2 plus 7, that is 9. So in this way we have solved two examples of equations. Now we will try to solve the third example of an equation, that is 2x is equal to 10. Now here is another condition. In previous two conditions, with the variable side there was either some quantity which was added to a variable or some quantity which was subtracted to variable. But here is some quantity, that is 2, which is multiplied to variable. So how can we vanish this 2 from left hand side so that there remains only the variable, that is x. Here it is multiplied to the variable. So when there is some number multiplied to another number, it vanishes only by dividing the same number, by dividing the term by same number. So if you want to vanish this 2, so what we have to do, we have to divide this side by 2 and also RHS by 2. So how can we divide this? That means it remains here x is equal to 10 by 2. So why I have written this 10 by 2? Let me explain you here why I have written this 10 by 2. Basically this is I divided here 2 as well. This 2 and 2 will go finish, so there remains only x, and here it is 10 by 2 on it is right side. So then it is x is equal to 5. Now we will try to solve one more example, that is example 4, z by 2 is equal to minus 3. Here is another situation, that is the variable is divided by some quantity. So we have to vanish this quantity which is dividing the variable. So whenever there is dividing some quantity to variable, it will finish, it will go on only when we multiplied the side by same quantity. That means we have to multiply left hand side of this equation by 2. So when we multiply left hand side of this, not only left hand side but as also the right hand side, when we multiply this equation by 2, what will happen? This 2 and 2 will go cancel. That means these are common factors, and there remains only the variable, that is z. And when we multiply on left hand side, we have to multiply the same quantity on right hand side as well. So what happens there? Minus 3 into 2. Then it implies that z is equal to 6. So this is the way we have solved the equations. Now what we have observed further, we can transfer terms from LHS to RHS. For example, if there is some term which is added to variable, if you want to vanish it, so what you can do, you can simply transfer it from left hand side to RHS. But what happens there? The sign gets changed. If it is positive on left hand side, it becomes negative in right hand side. Sign of the term gets changed when transferred from LHS to RHS. That is what I am saying to you. Coefficient is dividing the variable gets multiplied to the other side when transferred. That is this. Here it was the coefficient 2 dividing the variable, and it got multiplied on its right hand side simply. And fourth, coefficient is multiplied to variable gets divided on the other side when transferred. Here the coefficient was multiplied to variable and it got divided on the right hand side simply. So this is what the solution we call the solution of linear equations. Thank you.